Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to LEGO City Undercover. This has been a couple of days since I last played, so I guess I do want to celebrate the game a little bit in the fact that it's just been allowed to run paused for a couple days and it seems to still be running.
That's perfect.
Alright, there's one thing we want to do here. I believe under bikes we have Rex's Brute, which I believe is this lawnmower type thing. So there's an achievement for driving this around. I imagine not anything more than that. That might not have been the right vehicle though. So let's see if there's a miscellaneous option somewhere. Worker.
I need to get home.
We unlocked a bunch of vehicles, so it might be that there is a lawnmower vehicle I still have not unlocked, but I'll see if that gets that achievement done. There's a handful of kind of weird achievements that are in this game and aren't in most LEGO games. So as far as I can tell, that's it. Let's jump up here and see if I collected the studs. I think I did. So yeah, we've already collected the studs. Alright, so then, if I can hit the right button, the next thing we need to do is we need to go to the fire department and get, let's see, not a lot really needs to be done on this level, but we'll still probably end up having to go through all of it. We need 2 vehicles, 1 shield piece, 1 gold brick, I don't know how you get that, and 1 character skin. And the gold brick might just be that you get it by when you get everything. I don't know. We already have the red brick. And I really feel like that Arnold Schwarzenegger sequence wasn't actually a level.
All right.
So,
is it? This is wonderful. First of all, we'd better get you looking.
I didn't even know
like
you
a
were
fire
going
officer,
under
hadn't we, huh? There is
under
a
an
shiny
alias.
new uniform in the middle garage. If you can get the door open.
Rex being a police officer, fireman. I don't know. I bet there's probably a significant amount of tattooed firemen out there. And so we need something to hit those fire alarms. And since we know that's what we're targeting, then we'll start with that. Alright. We got a score multiplier. Do we have any more of these? It might be, and this did occur to me, that the micro stuttering is something that gets worse as the game
I just
is
pull this lever?
left going.
Yeah, that would have been too easy.
So it probably wouldn't be a terrible idea for me to exit it out at some points, and frankly that would have been a perfect point to exit out. Right. Seems like there's something over here to do. And since we have the fireman ability, we can hit that early. There's got to be a way to... There's got to be a way to get that to come downward. So We'll deal with that in a second, I guess. We're probably fine opening this part. Breaking some things. This is where we would have gotten the fireman uniform.
Well, don't you look as bright as a
And
butter?
that moves us the story
We're
forward.
going to start things out nice and easy. Oh no! Look! A raging inferno has erupted. Oh, if
Now I hit the
only
B
someone
button.
could put out the fires with an extinguisher. Gasp! Do you think you could do that for me?
Alright. So it seems
Just
to me
put them out and we can move on to the next bit of our training.
like there's more to this than meets the eye, and we're gonna have to
That'd
come
be
back
exciting.
here.
I think it will. Yes. If you are trying to figure out what to do, then you are meant to use the squirty water thingy to put out the big glowing orange things. It took me a little
Is
while
there
to figure it out as well.
possibly a chicken?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, that looks like something that the chicken
That's
wrench would
right.
work on.
Just use your extinguisher
But it
and
doesn't.
the scary, scary flames will go away.
But there's something here. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, do not worry. There's no hurry. This isn't a real emergency. In fact, if you're getting a little tired, why not roast some? That's great. Well done.
Like,
You would be an
way
asset
too
to
much
us,
dialogue
as
there.
There have been an unusual amount of fires of late. Although most of the recent fires have been burning down properties of small-time criminals. It is almost as if someone wants to put their well done. Wait a minute. That door is shut. Oh, and an innocent valve handle is trapped behind it. Oh, and look here, a fire axe. Do you think you could somehow use this axe to get through that door? Don't worry, you won't get into trouble. Here's Speedy. Oh,
So there's
but
a
aren't you
Shining
big and
reference.
strong? Good. Oh, great heavens! Look!
Okay, so it was
One
the
of our
green
soon-to-be
valve
comrades
handle.
has accidentally turned their hose pressure up too high. But who could help him? Who might have some kind of valve?
This is like
Yes,
the
you see where I'm
worst
going with
level
this?
to be
Some
playing
kind
in the middle of the game.
valve to lower the pressure.
Like, honestly, if this was the first level of
You left,
playing
you
as a
ate.
fireman,
That's gotta be a wreck.
it would be alright, but probably not
Good
even
work of that, didn't you? Let us
great
go to the
then.
next area, shall we? What excitement could await us in there? Open the gates.
Alright, so think what I see here is probably where that handle is. Nope. There's just a thing in there. A extender ladder. Fire truck, which we never use in the actual game, which seems weird. Some of these Lego pieces are a little awkwardly simplistic. Let's see. So that's the final piece of that. Feel like I would have put out all of these barrels, and it's a little odd that the game is not telling me what to do now. It's giving me a break. All that incidental dialogue that just happened and random chatter. Why jump from one extreme to the other? Right. Uncover surprises, investigate that, investigate that. It's some of these highlights really don't work well. They're terrible because they don't disappear once you've done the thing. So either there's something secretly in there, or it was just pointing to things that we've already gotten. Is there anything here that this would make this work though? We need a handle, and there seems to be no handle. And this whole door is just see-through. So unless there was something weird going on here, this whole door is not break openable either. I cannot break this one piece. I guess I'm supposed to stand here.
Oh no!
And then we'll do this mini game.
Several of your co-workers are trapped on that building. Am I not the most excellent actor? Now,
Can we
tell
skip
these
this?
other officers which way to carry the trampoline.
Nope.
So you can catch your stranded friends.
No button.
Go right. Get ready. Yay!
You never do this in the game again. Like, so
Just a bit.
unless we find a whole bunch of open levels
Geronimo!
that require us doing this in the open
Got
world,
him. Right.
there's a lot of custom programming going on
Good
here
work.
for no good reason.
Hey. Nicely done. Go left. Wait there.
I don't even think firemen particularly want to jump into
And that is the last one. Well done.
a
Now that they are
parachute,
safely down, we
trampoline,
can
whatever
put
they're
out those
called.
fires up there. But they are too
They're-
far and too ferocious for your own
I don't think
extinguisher. But not
It's better
for
than burning
these.
alive, but
Yes.
it's certainly
They
not something
are
you would even want to do
impressive, are they
in
not?
practice.
Say hello to my massive friends.
When you
How
look
about
at
one of them?
what they do in movie scenes when you're taking a large jump, wow, that
Come on,
just is
don't be
awkward.
shy.
Just a wall and then sheer cliff to the ocean. Like, why would your fire
on,
department
don't
be
be shy.
so susceptible to like tidal and flooding and things like that?
Come on, don't be shy.
Well, I guess you just put fire departments everywhere, but that does seem weird.
Excellent.
We never do this again
Water
either.
cannon can score a lot higher than your extinguisher can.
So
That's
what's
half
the
of
whole
them.
point of this?
Aren't you, Officer Awesome?
Like, clearly there was supposed to be a LEGO City Fireman game, its own little separate thing.
And there you go. That wasn't so hard, was it?
I guess it would make sense that you would have a dock
Oh, quickly! A most urgent situation has
where
arisen.
you could
What is it?
have fire
Oh,
boats.
you're acting
They do
again,
that
aren't
in
you?
Manhattan.
Yes. Our station mascot,
but-
Admiral Pom Pom Muggins III, has become trapped
I don't
on a
think that would
ledge.
be a training facility.
You want me to rescue a cat?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the only thing you do in the open
Now
world
you
I've seen
will
so far
truly
is
learn
rescuing
what it is
cats.
to be a fire officer
Which is
in
fine,
Lego
but-
City. To rescue cats is our highest calling.
Why did they program
Because they're
these
usually
mini
up to
games?
business. But first, you will need some way to get up to him.
Alright.
Go on.
Like, I really just want to shut up this guy more than anything else. Is there now perhaps fewer things to scan?
Up you go.
Not really. So before I
Go
climb up,
on.
let's just ignore that guy for a second. And
Up you go.
let's see. There's not an item over here I can hit B on.
Go on.
There's not an item around here. Alright, so I'm gonna kind of stand here
Up you go.
and see if maybe I can find some kind of button prompt
Go on.
for any of the characters.
Up you go. Go on.
Yeah, it's not just gonna be that you
Up you go.
get up there.
Go on. Up
You
you
can't
go.
jump forward. And there's nothing else.
Go on.
I hope my training's almost finished. I've still got to get to the fireboat. Then, once Vinny's got the boat, I can follow him to Rex.
Maybe this is the Rex thing. But I really haven't seen handles, I guess, until this point. This is the first instance of, I think, seeing a handle inside any of the boxes. Seems like it's been 100% just character and vehicle studs. Well, that took a lot more work than it should have. And now we have a fire tracker, which it doesn't seem like they've given us anything that we can do with this. Still can't break that one thing. Yep. So, yep. Seems like that was that. So the question, I guess, is, do I have everything? No, we're still looking for one character stud. And then we could potentially save and exit, but frankly, I think it would be easier just to play the whole level through and be certain. Still not sure why these girders are in the game. If there was like some long secret around that, man, it is getting really laggy and micro-stuttery.
It's almost time for Admiral Pom-Poms now.
Is this why there was a stinky fish in the pocket of my uniform?
Yes. Also, in case you get hungry.
Ugh.
Need to climb up and do a scan. Alright, let's go in the scan mode and see if we can figure out. Well, this is like the worst way to do a scan, I guess, because everything's getting blocked. So I just looked at LEGO Marvel Avengers. That was a game I tried to cover and was super micro-stuttery in the first level. So I suppose
Admiral Pom-Pom took over from our
think
previous
I will
mascot,
have to take
Commander
a large
Claus.
break.
And believe me, Commander Claus earned his name. He was quite the contract negotiator.
But I don't really see a reason why I shouldn't try and jump into that game maybe a month or two after I finish playing this. It is a kind of rude awakening, certainly how much time and how much grinding is. I'm actually managing to fill up my expanded usage SSD, which is to say my old SSD, which I had to use half of that to just have the operating system installed. So now I have like half a terabyte of space directly dedicated to video, and it's still getting filled up. It is also kind of a delicate balance though, and something you have to be careful about. I don't know where this character is. Like I don't know if this level maybe goes somewhere further, because I kind of don't believe. There you go. Save the cat. I kind of don't believe that there's anything here. We got these. There was this thing. And then that. And then we can't. Having trouble orienting the camera, and this and this. Alright. We did everything, and now I'm gonna jump off if I can. Thank goodness for that. Perhaps I made a mistake and needed to break these. Like, I put this out. But there's nothing that I can do otherwise. So either I found this, or I didn't. What can I do with them though? The vehicle. The vehicle. Maybe with the vehicle I'm supposed to crash into these barrels. Or specifically that one barrel. Let's see how that will work. That's about the only thing I could think of. Is that did nothing. If I was gonna do anything, it would have happened. Unless there was something crazy where I was supposed to have a ridiculous amount of water go into it and fill it up. I have to just assume I got whatever was there. We just have to move forward. Otherwise, we'll spend the ridiculous amount of time here. Yeah, like I was saying, the game is kind of a shocking reminder of just how much gameplay is in a lot of this. Ooh, let's blow this up. That's something I hadn't thought of. Second piece of dynamite should blow up the thing. That gives us studs, but it didn't give us anything else. Is there possibly some way, if I fell down this way, that would lead us anywhere? No. It won't. And just getting through the doors is hard sometimes. Alright. We're looking around. We'll break these, and then that's pretty much all we can do. So either we missed it, and I'll have to look up some kind of solution as far as what the thing was that was needed to be done. Interesting. He pulls out a white hat, but he's wearing a red hat.
You saved him! Okay, well, we're all done here. I'll see you inside for the chief's birthday party. There's lots of food!
Oh yeah, we're going inside the building. And notice it fast traveled us. That's a little weird.
Wow. They've done this place up really
If they were gonna
nice.
fast travel me, then why don't...
Maybe if we did the same
Why
for
make me
Dunby's
walk?
birthday, he wouldn't be such a grumpy pants.
Like, honestly...
Hey, JC, how you settling into your new job?
Good.
Can we skip
but I'm
this?
gonna have to get the fire chief out of his office so I can open the door to the boathouse.
I'm sure you won't disappoint me, kid. The last person who disappointed me bought the farm, you know?
You mean?
Yeah, even after I told him it was a terrible investment. Anyway, don't sweat the fire chief thing. You'll figure it out, kid. Everybody has a weakness.
So we've got piles of gifts, so I'm not sure if that's it. You know, there's some weirdness there, I suppose.
No good. I can't beat it. The
Um,
heads keep spinning and I can't aim my extinguisher
Every time
straight.
I've seen a TV show,
which is kind of
a
worrying,
fireman,
seeing as we're meant to be
they,
firefighters.
they sit around, watch TV, they play pool and ping pong, which was what was just shown here. But I have never seen a fireman station with like a basketball hoop or anything along that line. So maybe there's a danger there of if you have an outdoor activity that other people, particularly local kids in the neighborhood, saw, they would come and play basketball near the fire station, and that would be dangerous because kids would then potentially be at risk of getting run over as the fire trucks leave at breakneck speeds. So do we want to bother to go with the rest of this? Or do we want to just save and exit? I think we might as well
The
be
chief's sulking in his
careful.
office. I keep out of his way. Unless you want your first day to be your last.
Alright. Just come over here.
Who would have thought being a fire?
It could be also a case of
You think the birds
The
will come out of his office again today?
firemen
I hope
are
not.
just
Last time it was
required.
just to yell at me for playing on that sporty clown thing downstairs.
Like maybe they're required to stay inside the
Right. I guess I'm done with work.
firehouse so
I
that
should have brought a book with me.
they're not like constantly
Go away. I'm busy.
in a position
I'm
where
not
they can't
crying.
be seen or can't hear the alarms once they go off. I suppose that could be it too. Seems like there's a weird thing there. I guess for lack of a better descriptor, a weird pipe was covered in studs. Obviously this is going to lead here because once you've destroyed everything in the room, there's not anything else it could be.
You ever snuck into Burns's office?
Almost. I got up on top of the light fitting outside it, but I couldn't make the jump to his office.
Huh. What if we brought in a hang glider?
I'd so be up for that.
And see, it wasn't until I opened that we get this prompt, which then lets me jump in here.
Get out of my office and stay out! I should probably wait until tomorrow before asking for a raise.
So it throws me out every time, so you have to play this mini game. Alright.
You know, Chief Burns is such a party pooper.
Yeah, just because we got him the wrong kind of cake.
And blew out the candle before him.
And opened some of his presents.
And congratulated him on his 50th birthday when he's only 40.
And got him a Mother's Day card instead of a birthday one.
And got his name wrong on it. I mean, what's wrong with that?
He is so touchy.
You gotta aim for their mouths.
But
Like,
only when they're
the problem here is you can barely make out their faces. Like, so I'm really just kind of looking for motion and seeing if that might be the right way.
Hey, you did it!
There you go.
Well done, man.
That is outstanding.
What's going on out there? You people better not be enjoying yourself on my birthday. I better not see anyone smiling down there.
This is kind of a funny gag, but it's not played out well. Like, you can kind of clearly feel that the intention here would have been to have the police chief be the same as the fire chief, and then this would have been a great instance in which we would have gotten more characterization. Thank goodness for the instant safe cracking now. But man, we're going late. Like this is taking way too long. And down we slide. Is there anything else that we need to
find
collect?
this boat and sail it away.
And this looks like a sewer mission. Let's see if we can just quickly rush through this. Like, we were doing 2 of these at a time before, and now I'm down to 1. Alright. And so we're gonna have to do this because this is gonna lead us towards TNT, which the TNT is needed for the color gun. For what reason? It's gonna take us to a valve, alright. Not TNT. Those blow me out of the way. Break as much Lego stuff as possible. Build that. And then instant open that. And then that gives me the TNT that would open the color gun, but I don't need that, so we'll just skip all of that completely. We will need to break this open. So notice how the instant safe cracking and the instant door opening are different speeds. Like instant safe cracking just happens, whereas door opening is a much bigger hassle.
Hey, Chase, over here.
How did you guys
And
get
now
in
we're
here?
in an in-game
We
cutscene.
swam. He swam.
We're gonna go
I
late.
used the back door because I'm not a simpleton.
Oh man, I just
I
went
can't
through
really
basic training to get in
blame
here.
all
And
the
it's a
micro
good thing you did,
stuttering
because we're stuck
on why
on
this
this
is
side
taking
of
so
the
long.
fence.
I guess it's probably
And we can't
just I'm a
open
little
that
bit
big door
rusty.
to get the boat out of here.
Leave it to
But-
me.
Yeah.
Like we have a choice.
I like him.
There is a point here where I have to try and think about what the experience would be for a kid playing a game like this. My wayward youth was probably way too much time playing video games compared to modern people. Like I had a lot of time. I not a lot of homework that I needed to do, or that I bothered to do. I don't think I ever bothered to do any homework, and I don't think any of the teachers cared to see me twice in 2 years, so they passed me along anyways to the next grade. So like I had an incredible amount of time, to play games, and like of course conversely, like one takes that to mean I also had very little social life outside of playing video games. So a normal kid, they're gonna spend maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Like that's what I've heard is a reasonable amount you would give a 6-7-year-old, an 8-year-old, 10-year-old to play video games.
The boss said you should get on the water.
Particularly when you're talking about like a dedicated device that's not.
Get on the boat already. We gotta move.
Let me in and I'll push the Y button. Like I'm getting the Y prompt, but there's something more to it.
Get on the boat.
The game really shouldn't be yelling at you. Like that, as a kid's game, that's not appropriate. Like, you don't want to make the kids start crying. But, so, if this really is approaching 20, 30, 60 hours of gameplay, like, is one LEGO game really gonna be an entire school year for a kid? Like, that's not really realistic. So, yeah, I don't know what they do or how you would you run into this danger of a game that is so demanding and so grindy that that it becomes not appropriate, again, just because of how long it is. And I get the idea that this is supposed to be something that they could play for a very long time, and I'm sure that's very appealing to kids and parents alone together, but at a certain level it becomes too much. And in retrospect, when you start to say, well, there's 20 plus LEGO games, it's really hard to then justify going back. Alright, so the next one we have to do is Blackwell's Mansion Investigation. If we're lucky, we can save and exit out of this and we don't have to go the whole way through.
Think you can?
Yeah, I question it a lot. Is that really the one we're on? 14 or other 15? No, we're looking for smash and grab. We're in the wrong level. It must just be close to the Blackwell investigation. It might be that this is the one that's underground, and so we're gonna have to get underground to get to it. It really goes to show, I think, more than anything, that Blackwell's Mansion robbery. Is this 10? Well, let's see if this works. Yeah, this is it. Smash and grab. Yeah. It's a great point where LEGO games have, if they were on iPad, if they were on iOS, Android,
Okay.
and frankly, they, with the right programming, there's really no reason why they shouldn't run perfectly well on an iOS or Android modern device by today's standards, 2019 standards, at least some of the older ones. Having that extra portability makes some sense. In an odd way, the Nintendo Switch is not super, like, it's not being super fast about how quick they're re-releasing these kinds of games too. So this is labeled smash and grab. I guess the question would come down to
It's weirdly
how
quiet
fast
around
you
here.
could play through this level.
Maybe Blackwell security guys are on holiday. Or maybe not.
Like, I'd like a fast fight option as a red brick. Oops. And that's still pretty slow, and I doubt there will be a fast electrician fix. Alright. So this gives us Modulaka. Okay, so where are we now? So I'm hoping I'm not missing something. I'm trying to tap B and it's not working. I have to hold down B. Now, Steam is making some small attempts, and that's pretty much all I can call it at the moment. Small attempts to allow you to stream PC games to a cell phone. They're trying to promote and push the idea of having developers program in inputs and touchscreen inputs in their games. But it's all kind of just rudimentary stuff. It's just the beginnings of an idea, and I don't really suspect too many people will take them up on the offer. Ideally, it would be nice if all PC, Windows PC, Mac PC games worked on cell phones, just streaming the video from a stronger PC within your local Wi-Fi network. On the other hand, if Steam wants to really get into mobile, they probably would do a decent job making a storefront that is connected to your Steam account, that where you could buy specific mobile games for an Android or iOS device. Of course, your iOS device would have to be basically jailbroken to install any third-party applications, and Google Play Pass and Apple Arcade just came out, and so they're kind of making competitors to that idea already. But yet another storefront, particularly a storefront where the quality of games are considerably better than the usual free-to-play garbage, would be appealing. Let's see. I want to just make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh yeah, I've totally missed things. So we'll see how this goes. There's a lot of little in-game cutscenes going on. A lot of this. And if anything, I'd say the micro stuttering is still not as good as it once was, so I should still save and exit after this recording, but felt like it was getting a little bit better. Maybe I'm just being a little too wishful. Did I have the farmer ability the first time I played this level? I don't think I did. It's kind of weird that they gave us a sort of useless ability. Well, actually, we can test this. We would have just gotten the fireman suit, which would have been, we had gotten the farmer ability at that point. So the only thing we wouldn't have had was the construction worker. And Rex, who is his own individualized character. Assuming these are actually in chronological order. Might be wrong about that. Might be very, very wrong about that. Interesting to have a staircase that goes nowhere. That didn't seem like that did anything, so... yeah, I don't know. So construction worker, alright, that makes sense that I wouldn't be able to have done this. Chop this down. Get one of the few remaining red bricks. Like, honestly, I don't think I have but maybe 2 left. Seriously. Get up to that point, I guess. what that really shows is that I could have cheated the system at any point and just swam to that end part. There we go. Put this down, and then build that. I suppose it's fine to drop a box and then have it break into pieces, and then have to press B to build it. Although, frankly,
Okay, Chase. Don't take anything too valuable. Just find something shiny that Vinny will like.
like you drop the box, then you had to hold down B to build it, then you had to press B a second time to activate the door. It seems like you could
billionaire, where would I
add
hide
some
my vault?
efficiency. Interesting that the character talks in that cutscene, even though it's a different character. Here we're getting a phone call.
Chase, some guys came out of nowhere and are
Yeah,
after me.
that
I'm
won't
trying to
attract
lead
more
them away
attention.
from you. Hurry up!
Okay, I'll grab the stuff and get out of here.
I would argue that there's probably a better reason to show the electrician actually do something accurately instead of just bang it with a hammer. It is kind of an old-fashioned idea, even in 2012 when I think this game was re-released, but even when this game was first made, it would have been kind of an old-fashioned idea to say that it is so complicated what an electrician, a maintenance electrician, like residential and building electrician does, is so complicated that hitting it with a hammer is the appropriate response. You could totally show him just going and then pulling like one wire. At least that would be somewhat accurate. Or changing a fuse plug or something along that lines. Meanwhile, if you actually are encouraging, even though unintentionally, if you encourage a small percentage of kids to go hit their fuse boxes with hammers, you've caused potential extremely dangerous situation there. Whereas if a kid went and tried to change a fuse or flip a circuit breaker, that would be the best animation, is show how to flip a circuit breaker. That's something kids will need to know at some point in their future. And if they went and flipped a circuit breaker, they probably aren't going to cause anywhere as much damage as hitting a circuit box with a hammer would.
See? Now that's a sensible place to hide a
That's
vault.
me being particularly nitpicky. But there is an idea here that all of these, with the exception of the criminal, are legitimate jobs that we're playing as characters that are supposedly supposed to be kind of like role models for legitimate jobs. Alright. How are we as far as everything? I think we've got everything. And it wants me to go all the way over here. And I know that because it's the only thing I can't break. There we go.
Only one more layer protecting the vault. company. Open sesame! Or just open, if you have a nut allergy.
And
Whoa, that looks like a lot of money. No wonder Vinny's had his eye on this place.
it looks like the emerald's not in here. Instead, it's a Maltese Jade Falcon. Which we'll go ahead and skip that cutscene. So what did we unlock? Attract studs? Great. It's not going to be super useful, but if it attracts bricks also, that would be useful. So Lady Liberty Island is being shown there, but I'm definitely not at Lady Liberty Island. I'm way over here. Alright. Let's travel to Albatross Island. No, that's not what I want to do.
Oh, I forgot it.
Travel here. We'll just instant travel there. You get to see a loading screen that we don't see very often. So all of these will be turned off when we get around to this. There's one more red brick here and 100% complete, which I bet 100% complete is actually just something you get for 100% completion and makes studs fall from the sky. Yeah, I don't think there's any other. It says 38, 37 of 39, but I kind of disagree with that. Alright. This doesn't seem like it's as useful. So when I build something like this, and I drop studs, the attract studs kind of work, but you have to be rather close to them. Like, I've seen this be way more attractive magnetic wise in other LEGO games. So the number one thing that attract studs we wanted to get is, can I come over here now without having to hack these doors open and get that purple? And the answer to that is yes. Alright, so that's good. There's gonna be such a lot of open world stuff. There's still not any indication at all that Liberty Island is going to be unlocked. And I guess I could look at the remaining levels and see which one is the one we don't have a red brick from. If I can figure it out. It's probably the very last level. No, because we got that, and the second to last level. And since we just did level 10 and there's 15, so 14 and 15, it's got to be either level 12 or 11. And I don't really know where level 12 or 11 would be. So I'm gonna have to look up that too. Yeah, every mission that's being shown here. Also now when I build the super brick areas and it drops a bunch of studs, the attract studs will prove themselves to be useful because of that too. Alright, well, I guess we have a couple more to do as far as going through the mission levels a second time, and then it's just going to be all open world from there. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to further follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.